infinity.
الله أكبر وادي النخر الله أكبر وادي النخر.
Hello, my friends. Let's talk about chick flicks. Chick flicks are movies that are made for girls and movies that relate to girls. So, what's my movie today? Fun with Dick and Jane. What's fun with Dick and Jane? Well, it's a 1970s remake of the it's a remake of the 1970s movie Fun with Dick and Jane with the same title. Except this one stars Jim Carrey and Tia Leone as Jane. You know what? I'm not going to act like this, but I'm going to keep the wig, though. So, Fun with Dick and Jane is about a couple. Dick is played by Jim Carrey, and Tia Leone is Jane, who are a suburban couple who Dick wants Jane to get a job, but then Jim Carrey Dick gets deported to Mexico, and Jane's job doesn't turn out so well, and now they have to start a robbery in order to get their jobs back, I guess. I don't know. The plot's pretty stupid, honestly. So, what's fun with Dick and Jane, as far as girl movies go, or at least romantic comedies, if you can call it that, it's just not a good film. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not a good remake. The biggest problem is that it relies way too many jokes that are sometimes funny, but most of the time they're just not. The movie is way too over the top. I feel like sometimes, I know it wants to be a comedy, but I think but other times it just wants to be a very serious robbery movie. The soundtrack's good, though, I'll say that. It actually, the characters are not as relatable as in the original 70s movie. If you haven't seen the original movie, I definitely recommend you seeing it. But overall, did I review this movie already? Oh wait, that was Hitch. Sorry, I kind of looked into the box. Similar. Fun with Dick and Jane is not a good movie. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not great. It's boring. Some of the jokes were cheesy. It didn't make sense half of the time, and sometimes the writing just wasn't as clever as before. Is it the worst? No. Once I review the original movie, I might do a comparison, but as a standalone comedy, or at least a standalone chick flick, Fun with Dick and Jane is not a good way to introduce chicks to this kind of flick, you know? But I will give Dick and... there is one thing, Jim Carrey's performance is pretty decent. I'll give it that. Jane's as well. But that's not saying much. I give this movie a 4 out of 10. It's just a bad movie. Not the worst, but very bad. Okay, so that's all for Dick and Jane. What am I going to do for the next review? Well, that's up to you guys. Comment below, let me know, subscribe, like. What movie should I review next? Any movie is fine. Any movie at all. That's all I'm going to say for now. Hope y'all enjoy this review. I'll figure out something to review, but for right now, I gotta get me a haircut and, I don't know, do something. This is LTM signing out.
Mm.